So in this video, we're talking about what would happen if you left an apple in an impenetrable box for an infinite amount of time, and how it would eventually destroy itself and recreate itself into every possible item in the universe. So as you probably could tell from the beginning part, we were talking about the apple in a box theory, which is a theory about basically if you left an apple in a box, the box is impenetrable, nothing can come in, nothing can go out, what would happen to the apple? And it's pretty interesting because people don't truly know, because no one could test this, but the theory is that the apple would just rot. After a few years it would rot, and after a few more years it would turn into dust. But after thousands and hundreds and millions of years, it would turn into different states of energy until eventually it would go through every single state of energy that it could possibly, and it would go back to being physical matter, and it would turn back into an apple. Technically, the way that it would turn back into an apple is when it turned back into matter, it would turn into something probably pretty random. So if you left it in there for an infinite amount of time, it would eventually turn into an apple. It may turn into a living creature. It could turn into literally anything, because if you left it in there for an infinite time, the cycle would repeat with it turning into energy, turning into physical matter, turning into energy, turning into physical matter. So it could create anything. It could create entire worlds within that box. Technically the worlds would have to be extremely small because the amount of matter would stay the same, but it would infinitely create infinite possibilities, and that's pretty interesting, but it seems like it has no really real world implications, except for, if you think about it, Earth and the universe could just be a massive box, and Earth and every planet and all matter in the universe could just be the apple, because technically no one knows if the universe is truly infinite. It's very likely that it's infinite and ever expanding, but if it's ever expanding, that means there is an end of the universe at some point. And it's kind of confusing to think about what would be at the end of the universe, because presumably if you got to the end, it wouldn't be just like a wall, because if there was a wall, there would be something behind it, and then that would kind of not make sense. But there is a theory that the universe is a donut shape, because, so let's say you go in one direction, if you just go far enough, you'll end up in the same spot. Or it could be a circle, but a donut shape sounds much cooler, because it's like on Earth. If you keep going, you're not just going to meet an impenetrable wall that you can't get past, but you're also not going to just find the edge of Earth. So you would probably just keep going around and around as it slowly expands. But even that means it has a physical limit to where it is, meaning the entire universe could turn back into whatever, just energy, and then reform into matter again, which most people are nowadays pretty familiar with the concept of the multiverse, where there's different universes that all are slightly different from one and the other, and there's just infinite ones. This is a possible explanation for how a multiverse could exist without there being thousands and infinite universes all coexisting at once. It would be there is a multiverse and there's infinite universes, but they happen one by one. So eventually everything, Earth, everybody, everything will just turn back into matter and decay and then become another universe. And there would be infinite possibilities, though it would take like probably billions of years. There's even a theory that the Big Bang, which is the theorized beginning of the universe, no one really knows how that started. So that could have been the origin, is when all of the energy just turned into matter, is at that point, and eventually the universe is all going to collapse into energy and then turn back into matter eventually, and it'll be all these and there will just be infinite different possibilities. So a literal multiverse. That's kind of the end of the video. Thanks for watching. This is a really interesting thing. It's really complicated, but thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I hope you liked the video, and goodbye.